Chapter 4 of Just for Juniors, Little Talks to Little Folks by Rev. Gerald T. Brennan. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Maria Therese. Chapter 4. Michael the Scrapper. This morning I want to tell you about an old priest friend of mine. This priest was a great traveler. He crossed the ocean several times and saw many wonderful things. He visited Ireland, England, France, Germany, Belgium, Holland, and all the other countries of Europe. He was blessed by the Pope and once saw the King of England. Why, this priest knew the countries of Europe better than most of us know the United States. While on one of these trips to Europe, this priest saw something very interesting in the town of Augsburg in Bavaria. It was the 29th day of September, and this day, you know, is the feast day of the great St. Michael. People came from far and near and gathered in the square. Why did they come? They came to look at a clock, the 400-year-old clock on the City Hall, one of the most wonderful clocks in the whole world. Just before noon the square was crowded with men, women, and children. As the hands of the clock moved toward noon, there was silence in the square. Every eye was on the clock. Everyone waited and everyone wondered. The big hand moved closer to the smaller one. Then, just a few seconds before noon, a window above the clock opened, and there, standing in the window, with a large sword in his hand, was the figure of St. Michael. At his feet was the devil. Suddenly the clock struck, and the first time it struck, St. Michael sunk his sword into the devil's body. Of course, that was just what the crowd wanted. They yelled and clapped their hands. Again the clock struck, and again St. Michael stabbed the devil with his sword, while the crowd yelled with delight. 12 times the clock struck, and 12 times St. Michael dug his sword into the devil's body. At the last stroke of the clock, the crowd went wild. They yelled and cheered because St. Michael was a hero. St. Michael was a winner. St. Michael had conquered the devil. Then the figures of St. Michael and the devil disappeared. The window closed and the show was over. The people went back to their homes. They were happy, satisfied, and contented. St. Michael had won his fight. The devil had lost. Children, I'd like to think that each one of you is another St. Michael. Oh, I don't mean that I want you to go around carrying a sword, and I don't want you to be using your fists all the time, either. No, no. But I do want you to fight the devil, and God wants you to fight him too. God wants you not only to fight the devil, but God wants you to lick him. You know that the devil lives in hell. Well, don't get the idea that the devil spends all of his time in hell. He spends most of his time trying to get other people into hell. The devil wants you in hell. So what does he do? He goes around tempting you and trying to lead you into sin. Why, the devil tempts you every day. So you have to be on your guard. You have to be ready to fight the devil at all times. Remember, when the devil tempts you, you have to get rough with him. You must lick him, because you can't afford to lose. Of course, when the devil tempts you, you can't stab him with a sword. But do you know what you can do? You can pray. Prayer is the best sword you can use against the devil. He hates prayer. He's afraid of prayer. When you pray in time of temptation, every prayer is a stab at the devil, and prayer will lick him every time. So when the devil tempts you to do wrong, don't get nervous or excited. Just pray and keep on praying. If you do that, you'll find that the devil will stop bothering you, and he will stop quickly. However, the devil never gives up. He never stops fighting. He keeps coming back. You may lick him and his temptations this morning, and in a little while he may come right back and bother you again. The devil tries to tire you out, although he never gets tired himself. The devil may bother you several times a day, but don't let that worry you. Just say those prayers every time he comes around, and then you won't fall into sin. Children, St. Michael was a scrapper who won his fight against the devil. Ask St. Michael to help you in your scraps against the devil. Tell St. Michael that you want to be a scrapper, that you want to be on his side, that you want to win your fights against the devil. If you lick every temptation, then someday, like St. Michael, you, too, will be in heaven. Chapter 5